Octopussy is the 13th entry to the James Bond series. The 1986 movie is director John Glenn's second time in the driving seat of a 007 production. Octopussy stars Roger Moore, Maud Adams, Louis Jordan and Christina Wayborn. At a Kremlin meeting for the Red Army military, General Orlov presents his master plan to invade West Berlin with his Eastern Soviet troops and take over the rest of Western Europe within 5 days. The more progressive thinking General Oromov is outraged by Orlov's ludicrous plan and warns his fellow general that it would surely lead to nuclear retaliation against the USSR. Meanwhile in Western Germany, 009 is fleeing for his life from 2 renegade communists. Just as it appears that he is in the clear, the secret agent receives the cold steel of a flying dagger between his shoulder blades. With his last ounce of strength, 009 delivers the egg to the refuge of the British Embassy. Given that the strange object is of Russian origin, the Anglo authorities are immediately suspicious of Soviet involvement. Upon arriving at MI6 headquarters in London, 007 is informed of the ordeal his recently bereaved colleague has been put through. M reveals to 007 that the egg is in fact a replica, and that the genuine artefact will be up for auction in Sotheby's later on that afternoon. Bond is accompanied to the auction house by British arts expert Jim Fanning. Their prime objective is to identify who is willing to bid an absurd amount of money in order to attain the prized object. When exiled Afghan Prince Kamal Khan begins to bid beyond the estimate price of £100,000, both the spy and the art expert's suspicions are raised. To see just how willing Khan is to purchase the egg, 007 tests his colleague's nerves by beginning to outbid Khan for the egg. When Bond realises that Khan is willing to put up to £500,000 down on the ornament, he gracefully bows out, much to the relief of his colleague. After hearing just how keen the prince was to obtain the Fabergé egg, M instructs 007 to go to Delhi to carry out further investigations. Unsure of whether Roger Moore would reclaim the monkey or 007 for a record 6th time in a row, the studio set about auditioning alternative actors for the much coveted role. Actors who were considered included Oliver Tobias and Michael Billington. US actor James Brolin was even granted a screen test, but main producer Cubby Broccoli insisted that James Bond should be played by an actor from within the British Isles. Knowing that Roger Moore had a penchant for playing heroes, Cubby knew that the English actor would never refuse to play the greatest hero ever to grace the silver screen, and so made him the offer to sign on to Octopussy as the film's leading man. Director John Glenn was delighted to hear that Roger was returning to the franchise, on the basis that the actor was totally reliable and never fluffed his lines. Maud Adams makes cinematic history by being the first actress to play 2 different Bond girls. The first being Andrea in 1974's The Man with the Golden Gun. Adams thought that the casting director had made a mistake when they had called her, but was reassured that it was anything but, when she was informed that Cubby had been paying particularly close attention to her career since they had last met, and was more than impressed. Maud was more than delighted with the part she was assigned, as it was the first time in her life that she had played a title role, and felt that Octopussy was a much more mature and competent character than that of Andrea. Hollywood heartthrob Louis Jourdan plays the evil exiled prince Kamil Khan. Jordan has said that Octopussy was amongst the toughest yet most enjoyable productions that he has ever participated in. The Frenchman brings a great deal of wit and charisma to the character of Khan. According to Maud Adams, she was never stuck for a stand-up comedian whilst in close proximity to either Moore or Jourdan. One of the movie's main set pieces is of James Bond evading South American troops by means of an airport hangar. Because of the tensions between Argentina and the UK as a result of the Falkland Wars, studio executives felt it wise to film the British spy's daring escape at an airfield in the north of England. US pilot Corky Fornoff was the brave man chosen to carry out the miraculous stunt. Fornoff performed a similar manoeuvre in a Japanese TV commercial some years prior. John Glenn felt that the stunt required more room, and so decided to leave a narrow gap between the doors on the far side of the hangar. Fornoff dismissed this idea immediately, stating that it was far too dangerous to be carried out, and insisted that he would only perform the stunt on condition that both doors were left fully open. To get around this complication, Glenn shot Corky entering the building with the doors fully open, but for the excellent shot he had a full-size replica of the jet mounted to the top of a modified Jaguar. The car drove at 75 miles per hour through the hangar, and with the use of some clever editing, the effect was virtually seamless. The gag where 007 pulls up to a filling station to refuel the microjet was based on a true story that actually happened to Fornoff. Whilst in flight he noticed that the jet began to lose oil pressure. Being out of travel range of any airport, Corky had no choice other than to set down on a highway, before making his way to the nearest service station to top up. The reason why I feel Octopussy performs so well is because it sticks to the simple yet successful formula of wildly beyond probable, but most certainly possible, where I feel that the more recent 007 flicks have begun to stray from this guideline much to their detriment. Whether you're a fan of Bond or not, Octopussy is a more than enjoyable super spy action adventure, so much so that it happens to be one of Homer Simpson's all-time favourites.
You know what's great about you English? Octopussy. Man, I must have seen that movie twice.
If you're looking for a film jam-packed with death-defying stunts and plenty of campy humour, then definitely make sure to check out Octopussy.